Hi, I'm Tim, welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. Today we're discussing one of the sensations of Bezel World 2017. At least as far as Rolex goes, it does not get any more striking than this Rolex 116518LN, a combination of Cerachrome black ceramic bezel, Paul Newman-esque tricolor tone-on-tone dial, yellow gold case, and Oysterflex strap. This is the summer fun watch for 2018. Easy to wear on a broad range of wrists, handsome, and thanks to our website, available without a weight. You can see and purchase this extraordinary Neo Paul Newman on thewatchbox.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy these videos, and please click on the card in the upper right hand corner of the screen at any time during this video to see our full sales listing for this watch, with additional accessories included in the sale, high resolution images for your desktop, and naturally complete pricing details for this Rolex Oyster Perpetual Cosmograph Daytona 116518LN. Lunette Noir. Now, the dam broke on ceramic bezel Daytonas in 2016. The arrival of the ceramic bezel on the steel watch supercharged the Daytona market to the point that in 2017, when the precious metal Oysterflex strap ceramic bezel combo debuted on the precious metal white, rose, and yellow gold Daytonas, those two went absolutely volcanic in the marketplace. Wait lists for the gold Daytona finally spanned years, not months, and the watch on my wrist represents what is easily the most striking aesthetic across that entire range of Neo Newman gold Daytonas. The watch is easy to wear. 40 millimeters across the round of the case. That's not inclusive of the chronograph pusher's crown or crown guard, but it is slim. 12.3 millimeters thick. It'll slide underneath any dress cuff, though I can't imagine disappearing this watch underneath a sleeve. Lug to lug, we have addition by subtraction, a watch that will fit more wrists than previously because of the subtraction of the solid end-link wingspan of a bracelet, thanks to the Oysterflex strap that reduces the actual span across the wrist to a very reasonable and wearable 47.7 millimeters. And you can pull this strap straight down around the tight curve of a small wrist. You'll also note how easily it sits on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist. You could wear this watch on a wrist as small as, I'm going to say, 13 to 13.5 centimeters in circumference. It truly is viable for petite male wrists. But what I'll also say is it has the kind of character and visual zing to it, a je ne sais quoi of, shall we call it, horological electricity, to outshine 44 millimeter and 45 millimeter watches in solid gold from the likes of Audemars Piguet and Hublot. Now, the clasp gives you everything you expect of a Rolex. It's solid, it's beautifully made. You can see the handsome double finish, satin and polish. You'll note the complexity of the mechanism within that latches it closed securely with a snick and a snap. The attention to detail in that the clamshell closure itself features a recessed channel, so when closed, it sits flush longitudinally and vertically, with only a kerf underneath the crown allowing you to dig your fingernail in and remove it from its lodging. Which I'll also note is that this is a solidly built clasp with a clever addition. The easy link that you would get on a Rolex bracelet is still present and correct with the Oysterflex strap. And therein lies one of the key points regarding Oysterflex. It's not really a strap, though you can see it's thoughtfully labeled and highly branded in the distinctive Rolex fashion. Nevertheless, it is a bracelet. There is a piece of metal that runs unbroken around the entire circumference of this clasp. The metal ends with the clasp itself and continues all the way back to the solid end link profile abutting the case. So even if this were to tear straight through, there'd be a piece of metal retaining it on your wrist. It also matches the profile of the bracelet. As you can see, the taper of the lugs continues. There's a central crease or character line that continues the flow of that solid center link, and on the underside, a thoughtful cinching mechanism. What it does is it allows the watch to sit securely even if one of the stock lengths of the Oysterflex doesn't fit you completely perfectly, because you can't cut the strap. It is a bracelet after all, clad in rubber. Rolex offers several lengths, but to ensure a perfect fit you have Easy Link, but you also have these bellows which compress and give a little bit of margin for error in sizing, cinching the watch to your wrist and ensuring security. They also, as you can see, are positioned on top of a hollow that allows an air pocket to form to ventilate the wrist on hot days and allow sweat, moisture, and grit to escape. The watch itself is a sensation, though some aspects, and we'll get real close now that it's not on the wrist, some aspects will be quite familiar. You can see that the case profile has not changed. It's been largely the same shape and the same size since the first 1988 automatic winding Daytona debuted. What has changed here is that the bezel is now Rolex's Cerachrom. So it's essentially scratch resistant to the same extent that a sapphire is. So if you're not one to crack, fracture, or otherwise damage a sapphire, you're not going to damage this bezel. It's going to look good in the long term. And whereas previous metal bezels would have been lacquer filled to create the calibrations, here we have recesses in the scratch resistant ceramic that are then filled with a deposit of gold so that this material and these calibrations can never wear off. The dial is handsome, and while it does evoke the Paul Newman Daytonas of the 60s, it's not a one-for-one reproduction of that. It's designed to recreate the feeling without recreating the look exactly, so it has a character of its own. It stands on its own four lugs. Outboard, you can see a very subtle red seconds track for tracing chronograph seconds as well as minutes. The dial base itself is not Rolex's characteristic gloss black, but a matte black to reduce glare and increase contrast, and you'll note that each of the sub-registers is golden textured and printed with a black on gold calibration that makes them easy to read. All applied white gold indices, or I should say yellow gold in this case, as well as yellow gold hands and yellow gold crown. So they are, because they are gold, tarnish resistant and resistant to corrosion or oxidation. They're also lumed, so yes, there will be a lume shot at the end of this video. Now the watch features screw down crowns, and this is for pusher as well as crown, endowing the watch with 100-meter water resistance. A watch on a rubber strap should be able to get wet, so you can splish and splash off Daytona Beach once you're done with the Enduro, or quite possibly if you're a two-wheeled motorsports fan, after Daytona Bike Week. Now the chronograph mechanism is a Rolex in-house caliber 4130, automatic winding, 70-hour power reserve, smooth bidirectional automatic action, I should mention, thanks to Rolex's twin Teflon reversing wheels. It also features a 4 Hz or 28,800 vibration per hour beat rate, hacking seconds, it's protected to 100 meters water resistant, and it is also a vertical clutch column wheel system, so the vertical clutch is that tick and ting that you hear as you actuate the system. It's also crisp to actuate in a way that a traditional chronograph should be, and a cam or shuttle-based system like an Omega Speedmaster Moonwatch isn't always. What you also get is a vertical clutch mechanism which engages the chronograph seconds hand without any jump or stagger, so it's very precise. There's no play in the system, and then also invariably resets exactly to 12 because, again, there are no teeth within the system to create the play and imprecision. What it also permits is continuous running of the chronograph. The Zenith-powered Daytonas and the previous Valjoux manual winds before, none of those first-generation Daytonas and second-generation Daytonas could be run continuously in chronograph mode. Here, the vertical clutch lets you do that without any additional wear, tear, or reduced service interval for the movement. Now, it's a 44-jewel movement with a number of architecture refinements that enable degrees of toughness and resistance. So it has a full balance bridge with a free-sprung balance for shock resistance and toughness. It also features a Breguet over coil hairspring to prevent gravitational or positionally induced timing deviation with different orientations with respect to gravity that may be encountered. And it has a parachrom blue anti-magnetic alloy that composes that Breguet over coil hairspring. All of it comes together to create a watch that's tough but also precise. As a chronometer, Rolex takes the chronometer certified movement, recases it, and then applies its superlative chronometer testing standard. If the COSC chronometer test of a movement is -4 +6 per 24 hours, roughly speaking, the Rolex standard is -2 +2 as a fully cased up watch, hence the nomenclature superlative chronometer. The watch has certainly earned its stripes, and its gold, and its ceramic, and its Oysterflex bracelet for that matter. You can see this watch and put it on your wrist this summer, whether on Daytona Beach or anywhere else, on our website. And we're back with the yellow gold Rolex Oyster Perpetual Cosmograph Daytona 116518 LN. As you can see, Rolex Chromolite, beautiful in blue by night, beautiful in black, and yellow by day. See it and own it on our website.